What's up, guys? This is another episode of James TV. This is where I talk about legends, myths, conspiracy theories, and everything in between. Today we're going to talk about who really discovered America. Was it Columbus or was it someone else? Grab some popcorn and get ready to find out. History says it was Christopher Columbus. Well, I'm here to tell you that is completely wrong. He did not. You can give credit to the tribes of people already living in America or to a little group of Masonic Knights called the Knights Templar. So we will try and answer the question, did the Knights Templar discover America? But to get that answer, we have to go back and look at history and look at what we know about the Templars. So let's get right to it. So who were the Knights Templar? What did they do and why were they so mysterious? So a little bit about the Knights Templar. This Masonic order of the Templars started in 1119. They were the defenders of Christianity in the Holy Land. They started out to protect the pilgrims during the Crusades, and they came back from those Crusades very rich. They became so rich, in fact, after the Crusades, they started to give money to King Philip of France. That's how rich they were. So a little bit more about them. They were headquartered on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem in 1128 when they got to meet the Pope. Their knighthood was established at the same time as the Crusades. It was founded during the early years of the Kingdom of Jerusalem when the Crusaders controlled only a few strongholds in the Holy Land. So their headquarters were in three different places. The first place was in Jerusalem from 1120 to 1187, home of the Templar headquarters until the city was lost to Saladin. The next one was in Acre, 1191 to 1291, to the north of Israel, reconquered by the Christians during the Third Crusade. And lastly, this is where they were until the dissolution of the order, was Cyprus, 1291 to 1311. The headquarters were located in the Mediterranean islands. So how were the Knights Templar disbanded? Well, having become a very rich and powerful order, and even given money to the King of France, the King of France actually grew unhappy with the Templars' wealth. So he decided to disband the order. He decided to have them all arrested and either thrown in jail or killed. The king organized smear campaigns against the Templars, saying they now rejected the Holy Cross and Jesus Christ. Alright, so now let's explore the order itself and look at the hierarchy that they had at the Knights Templar. So the Templars had a hierarchy that consisted of a tubercle, who did not exactly belong to the order, but were mercenary soldiers from the Byzantine Empire. Next, they had squires, and they were in charge of manual tasks and maintenance, the knights' weaponry. After that, we have the priests that combine religious matters and the order's administrative tasks. And then you have the sergeants, warriors of noble origins. The roles they occupied were very limited. And then lastly, we have the knights, noble warriors, were only ones who were allowed to wear the white cap and the red cross. Okay, so now we've learned a little bit about the Knights Templar order itself. So now, let's look at evidence for them discovering America. So what's the evidence that the Knights Templar came to America? Well, actually, the evidence is all around us. It's been discovered that there could be a knight that was buried in the United States, and a building that is much older than the surrounding area in Rhode Island, and it has very strange carvings to be found. So this is a map from the 1300s. The land masses on this map are believed to be around Nova Scotia, and this one right here is believed to be Oak Island. If you don't know what that is, I'll have another video on what that is coming out soon. But it is believed that the Templars stopped on that island and possibly buried some treasure there, and then they went to America. So here's the first piece of evidence from a different map, a more detailed one. On one that looks to resemble North America. At the center, you can see what looks to be like a castle, which is strange because there are no castles in America, right? But check the next slide out. So this may not look like a traditional castle, but it could be indeed what was on the map. This little castle-like structure was found in Rhode Island in 1898. It is located in an older area of Rhode Island, but the structure and stonework does not match the stonework of the 1800s. It seems to be older than that, much older. Alright, so now let's talk about this possible Knights Templar that was buried in Boston called the Westford Knight. So this Westford Knight is easily visible in contrast with the natural features of the rock, is a man-made carving of what could be a medieval sword. The origins of this carving are highly debated. According to one account, the first Europeans to reach Westford were part of an expedition led by Prince Henry Sinclair of Scotland. This voyage would have reached the New World in about 1400 AD. The Westford Knight would then be an effigy for one of the expedition who died nearby. So, if you were to go to Westford, Massachusetts today in Boston, you could see this very picture right here of the Westford Knight. Now, here's another picture, but it has been faded over hundreds and hundreds of years, but look right there, you can actually see very clearly a sword that is carved into this stone. It is very visible. This very well could be a medieval sword. Here is another piece of evidence. This is the Overton stone. It is located on Oak Island, that small island off the coast of Nova Scotia. It clearly shows the Knights Templar cross, and has a very clear crossing of feathers. This is the same island I mentioned before, possibly having buried Knights Templar treasure on the island. Here's another piece of evidence, and this could be the very piece of evidence that blows this whole thing wide open. This is a picture of two battle flags. The one on the left is the Knights Templar battle flag that they've used during the Crusades. Once they landed in Nova Scotia, they became allies with a local tribe that inhabited the area, and that tribe actually copied their battle flag almost exactly. If you think about it, what native people, tribes, have a battle flag, especially one that looks eerily similar to a Masonic order that's not even supposed to be in the same country? So after hearing all the evidence and the story of the Knights Templar, what do you think? Did they discover America? Will we ever find the truth? Well, this concludes this episode of James TV. If you liked the video, remember to like and subscribe for more content like this. You can follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, as my username is on the screen. And remember, seeing is not always believing. Sometimes believing is enough. Peace!